In an extraordinary turn of events that sent shockwaves through the luxury automotive industry, Hollywood icon Keanu Reeves was turned away from his own $50 million dealership by a manager who had no idea she was dismissing her new boss. This unprecedented incident at the prestigious Novena Autos in Evim not only transformed a workplace, but sparked a nationwide conversation about prejudice in high-end retail. The incident, which occurred on a quiet Tuesday afternoon in January, has finally come to light through exclusive interviews with staff members and internal documentation obtained by our investigative team. What began as a routine day at one of Evim's most elite car dealerships would become a masterclass in humility and leadership that rippled through the entire luxury retail sector. None of us knew what was about to happen, recalls Sarah Chen, a junior sales associate who witnessed the encounter. Our manager, Tamsin Gray, had built her entire career on spotting high-value clients, but that day she made a judgment call that would change everything. Nestled in Evim's upscale automotive row, Novena Autos had long been the crown jewel of luxury car sales in the region, with its gleaming showroom housing vehicles worth upwards of $300,000. The dealership's recent acquisition by an unnamed buyer had sparked endless speculation among the staff, but no one expected the new owner to appear in worn jeans and a casual black t-shirt, driving a modest sedan. What unfolded next would not only reshape the culture of a prestigious dealership, but would spark a movement that challenged deep-seated biases in luxury retail. As one industry expert put it, this wasn't just about a celebrity being misjudged. This was about exposing a systemic problem that has plagued high-end sales for decades. Let us know in the comments below. Have you ever been judged by your appearance in a luxury store? Subscribe now for exclusive reveal of how this incident transformed the lives of everyone involved, from the humbled manager to the shocked employees who watched it all unfold. This is just the beginning of a story that proves appearances can be deceiving, and sometimes the biggest lessons come from our most embarrassing mistakes. The scene was set for an unforgettable confrontation at Novena Autos that Tuesday afternoon. Tamsin Gray, a 20-year veteran of luxury car sales, stood in her usual spot near the front desk, clipboard clutched to her designer blazer. The showroom's pristine white floors reflected the $2.8 million worth of vehicles gleaming under carefully positioned spotlights. She had just finished her morning staff briefing, where rumors about the mysterious new owner had once again dominated conversation. "We were all on edge," explains Marcus Rodriguez, head of the finance department. The sale had gone through 3 weeks prior, but nobody had met the new owner. There were whispers it might be someone famous, but in this business, we hear that kind of talk all the time. At precisely 2:15 p.m., security cameras captured a modest gray Toyota Camry pulling into the far corner of the dealership's parking lot. The driver, dressed in black jeans and a worn t-shirt, took a moment before stepping out. None of the employees clustering around the front desk paid much attention, except for the security guard, James Wilson, who would later recall thinking something seemed familiar about the tall figure. "I had this nagging feeling," Wilson remembers, leaning forward in his chair during our interview. "Like when you see someone from a movie but can't place them. But without the usual sunglasses and fancy clothes, even I second-guessed myself." What happened in the next 17 minutes would become the stuff of retail legend. Tamsin, who had built her reputation on an almost supernatural ability to spot serious buyers, was about to make the most significant miscalculation of her career. As Keanu Reeves walked through those gleaming glass doors, she saw only what she wanted to see: another tire kicker who would waste her sales team's valuable time. According to multiple witnesses, the interaction that followed was a masterclass in subtle discrimination. "The way she spoke to him," recalls Chen, shaking her head. "It wasn't outright rude, but there was this condescension, like she was doing him a favor just by acknowledging his presence." Security footage obtained exclusively for this report shows Tamsin's body language shifting the moment Reeves approached the showcase vehicle, a limited edition convertible priced at $327,000. Her clipboard, typically held loosely at her side, rose to create what body language experts call a barrier position. Her smile, normally warm for potential clients, remained fixed and tight. What no one knew then was that Keanu Reeves had specifically chosen this approach to test his new acquisitions culture. Having quietly purchased the dealership through a private holding company, he wanted to experience firsthand how his staff treated people who didn't fit the typical luxury buyer profile. The impromptu staff meeting in Novena Autos' glass-walled conference room would become a pivotal moment in luxury retail history. As 47 employees filed in, the tension was palpable. Security cameras caught whispered conversations and nervous glances as staff members took their seats, many still processing the revelation about their casual visitor's true identity. It felt like walking into a final judgment, remembers Alex Thompson, a senior sales consultant who had been with the dealership for 8 years. But what happened next changed everything we thought we knew about luxury sales. Keanu Reeves stood at the head of the mahogany conference table, his casual attire now carrying a powerful message of its own. The room fell silent as he began to speak, his words captured in the meeting minutes obtained through our investigation. "I came here today dressed like this for a reason," he began, gesturing to his simple black t-shirt and worn jeans. "In the last hour, I've experienced firsthand how this dealership treats people based on appearances. And while I respect the success you've built, we need to talk about the cost of these judgments." Internal records show that Novena Autos had an impressive sales record, $127 million in luxury vehicle sales the previous year. But they also revealed a troubling pattern. Countless potential customers marked as non-serious inquiries, based solely on their appearance or initial vehicle choice. Dr. Sarah Williams, a retail psychology expert consulted for this report, explains the significance of what happened next. What Mr. Reeves did was expose a deeply ingrained bias in luxury retail. By becoming the dismissed customer himself, he created a moment of undeniable self-reflection for everyone in that room. The most powerful moment came when Tamsin Gray, still visibly shaken, stood up to address her colleagues. "I've spent 20 years teaching people how to spot a real luxury buyer," she admitted, her voice trembling. "Today, I realized I've really been teaching prejudice and calling it expertise." Security footage shows several staff members wiping away tears as Keanu outlined his vision for change. The meeting notes detail his 3 immediate mandates: mandatory bias training for all staff, elimination of appearance-based customer profiling, and a new respect-first approach to every person who walked through their doors. "What struck me most," recalls Benio Crane, "was how he turned what could have been a moment of humiliation into an opportunity for growth. He wasn't there to shame anyone. He was there to wake us up." The transformation of Novena Autos began immediately, though not without its challenges. Within 24 hours of the infamous meeting, Benio Crane had implemented what staff would later call the Reeves Protocol, a complete overhaul of how the dealership approached customer service. "The first thing to go was our pre-qualification checklist," reveals Jennifer Martinez, head of customer relations. "We used to have this unofficial system where we'd mark down what customers were wearing, what car they arrived in. Looking back, it's embarrassing how much we relied on these surface judgments." Internal documents show the dramatic shift in policy. The old sales manual, obtained exclusively for this report, contained phrases like "identify high-value prospects" and "prioritize obvious buyers." The new guidelines, personally reviewed by Keanu Reeves, focused instead on creating universal welcome and building genuine connections. One of the most significant changes came in the form of a blind sales assignment system. Rather than allowing senior sales staff to cherry-pick customers based on appearance, a randomized rotation ensured every client received equal attention. The results were immediate and surprising. 2 weeks after the changes, I was assigned to a customer who came in wearing paint-covered overalls, shares Michael Chang, a veteran sales consultant. Under the old system, we might have politely rushed him out. Turns out he was a successful mural artist who'd just landed a major commission. He bought our top-end model in cash. The dealership's security cameras captured numerous similar stories unfolding over the following months. One particularly poignant moment showed Tamsin Gray, the manager who had dismissed Keanu, spending 2 hours with an elderly couple in shabby clothes who ultimately purchased 3 luxury vehicles for their family's car service business. The most challenging part wasn't learning new procedures, Tamsin admits, reviewing her journal entries from that period. It was unlearning 20 years of assumptions. Every time I caught myself making a snap judgment, I'd remember that day with Mr. Reeves. It became my personal wake-up call. Training records reveal that staff underwent intensive bias recognition workshops, with external experts brought in to help reshape the dealership's culture. The cost of this transformation, according to financial documents, exceeded $300,000 in the first quarter alone, an investment Keanu Reeves insisted was non-negotiable. The story of Keanu Reeves' undercover visit and Novena Autos' transformation quickly transcended the confines of the dealership, spreading through social media and traditional news outlets like wildfire. What began as a local incident soon became a catalyst for change across the luxury retail sector. The video of Keanu explaining his experience went viral within hours, notes social media analyst Rebecca Torres. The security footage showing the initial dismissal and subsequent revelation has been viewed over 50 million times across platforms. But more importantly, it sparked a crucial conversation about retail bias. Trade publications obtained for this investigation reveal that within 3 months, over 200 luxury car dealerships across the country had initiated similar cultural transformations. The Reeves effect, as it became known in industry circles, was reshaping how high-end retailers approached customer service. Marcus Zhang, owner of Elite Motors in Beverly Hills, implemented what he called the Novena model after watching the incident unfold. Our first month under the new approach, we saw a 47% increase in sales, not because we were doing anything drastically different, but because we were finally seeing all our customers, not just the ones who fit our preconceptions. The numbers tell a compelling story. According to industry reports, Novena Auto sales increased by 112% in the 6 months following the change. Customer satisfaction ratings jumped from 82% to 98%. Staff retention improved by 45%. The dealership's social media following grew by 500,000 in 3 months. But perhaps most telling were the stories that emerged from other luxury establishments. A high-end jewelry store in Manhattan reported selling a $1.2 million piece to a customer they might have previously overlooked. A prestigious art gallery in Chicago discovered that a visitor in running clothes was actually a major collector. What Mr. Reeves did was expose an uncomfortable truth about luxury retail, explains Dr. Rachel Cohen, professor of retail psychology at Stanford University. We've been training people to judge books by their covers, and it's been costing us not just sales, but our humanity. 1 year after the infamous incident, Novena Autos stands as a testament to how one moment of humility can transform an entire industry. The dealership's once imposing glass facade now bears a subtle but powerful addition. "Everyone's welcome," etched in elegant script across the entrance. It's not just a slogan, says Tamsin Gray, who not only kept her position, but has become an influential speaker on retail transformation. Those words remind us daily of the lesson Mr. Reeves taught us. I keep the outfit I wore that day, my power suit, as I called it, hanging in my office as a reminder of how wrong our assumptions can be. The numbers paint a picture of remarkable success. Financial records show Novena Autos achieved its highest-ever annual sales volume, reaching $198 million, a 56% increase from the previous year. But more telling are the customer testimonials that fill 3 thick binders in the dealership's front office. Last week, a woman in medical scrubs came in during her lunch break, shares Michael Chang. A year ago, we might have suggested she come back better dressed. Instead, we discovered she was a leading surgeon who ended up purchasing our entire executive fleet for her medical center. These stories aren't rare anymore. They're our new normal. Keanu Reeves, speaking exclusively about the long-term impact of his undercover visit, reflects, "What happened that day wasn't just about catching someone in a moment of prejudice. It was about showing how small changes in perspective can create massive ripples of transformation." The dealership's security cameras now capture a very different daily reality. The footage shows diverse groups of customers being welcomed with genuine warmth, regardless of their attire or arrival vehicle. The same cameras that recorded Tamsin's initial dismissal of Keanu now regularly capture moments of connection that transcend appearances. Perhaps most significantly, Tamsin Gray's personal transformation has become a case study in leadership evolution. "I went from being known as the luxury gatekeeper to someone who teaches others about inclusive customer service," she says, emotion evident in her voice. "Mr. Reeves could have fired me that day. Instead, he showed all of us, that true luxury isn't about exclusion. It's about making everyone feel valuable." In an industry historically defined by exclusivity, the ripple effects of the Novena incident have fundamentally reshaped how luxury retailers approach customer service. A comprehensive study by the National Retail Federation reveals that 78% of high-end establishments have now implemented some version of the Reeves protocol. What happened at Novena Autos wasn't just a viral moment. It became a movement, explains Dr. Patricia Chen, author of Breaking Luxury's Glass Ceiling. "We're seeing a systematic dismantling of prejudicial practices that have plagued luxury retail for decades." The transformation extends far beyond car dealerships. Designer boutiques, five-star hotels, and exclusive restaurants across the country have begun adopting similar approaches. Industry reports indicate a 67% decrease in customer discrimination complaints across luxury sectors, 89% increase in first-time luxury buyers from diverse backgrounds, 45% improvement in employee job satisfaction at transformed establishments. Back at Novena Autos, the legacy of that January afternoon continues to evolve. The dealership now hosts monthly open-door events where people from all walks of life are invited to experience luxury vehicles in a pressure-free environment. Their pioneering approach has earned them the prestigious Inclusive Excellence in Retail Award for 2 consecutive years. "The most powerful change," reflects Benio Crane, "isn't in our sales figures or awards. It's in the stories we hear every day." Last month, a young entrepreneur told me she felt comfortable entering a luxury dealership for the first time in her life. That's the real measure of our success. Keanu Reeves, whose undercover visit sparked this revolution, maintains a quiet pride in what's been accomplished. "Sometimes the biggest changes start with the smallest moments of truth," he shared in his final comment for this report. "What happened that day wasn't about me. It was about recognizing the dignity in every person who walks through our doors." Today, a small plaque hangs in Novena Auto's conference room, bearing words that have become the dealership's unofficial motto: "Never judge a book by its cover. You might be turning away the author." Was this just a story about a celebrity's undercover visit, or did it expose a deeper truth about how we judge others in our daily lives? Has luxury retail truly changed, or is there still work to be done? Share your experiences in the comments below. Have you ever been judged by your appearance in a luxury establishment? Subscribe to join our community of thoughtful readers who believe in the power of transformation. Because sometimes the most valuable lessons come disguised in the most unexpected moments. This is Alex, signing off.